What's going on, you guys? Slim back here with a new video today, and you guys, my boy Joey went undefeated with True Draco Dogmatika in 2021, and I'd be a damn fool to not feature this because True Draco doing something in 2021. Like, shout out to Sloppy Toppy. You already know, James, you the king, but my gosh, I'm floored. But anyways, you guys, this is the list that he piloted. He went undefeated with it, and I think it's awesome because whether you like True Dracos or not, I gotta give him his props. Trying to make this deck work in 2021 is no easy feat, but as always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links are in the description. While you're down there, consider joining my Discord community. If you're going to purchase any cards to build this deck or just cards in general, please use my TCG player link or my Gem Accessories affiliate link. A portion of what you spend to either of those places will go back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. If you further want to support me and my content and the channel, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button or by becoming one of my Patreons. With all that out of the way, you guys, I don't even know what to say. To be honest, I was very shocked. I actually met Joey. He donated to my streams, and I ended up playing him on stream, and we've played on stream a couple times. You guys already know over on Twitch. Links in the description if you guys want to catch that. Some of my recent VODs are actually some of our games, so you guys can definitely check that out. Yeah, he's been a fan of True Draco for a really long time, and trying to make this deck work with all the hits that it's had, even with cards that have come back, is no easy feat. He put in one of my favorite engines of all time. You guys already know I love the Dogmatika engine. The synergy that this has really surprised me, because when you think Dogmatika, you think Dogmatika Invoked, you think Dogmatika with Shaddolls, you think Dogmatika with other decks, you don't think True Draco. And most people who play True Draco, like, he tried True Draco Monarchs where there was no extra deck, you know, to get the full advantage of domain. He played the regular True Draco version where you play Erupt, again, no extra deck, but this time he went for a real, just kind of, you know, this is Draco plus the Dogmatika engine with some powerful trap cards, and it really worked out for him, going undefeated at his locals. I think it's awesome. I have his full tournament report as well, because he did play against a lot of meta. Now you have to take that into effect. He didn't play against a lot of rogue. He played against meta with this deck and actually came out on top. I think it's fantastic, and I really want to get into it, so we will get through the list. Of course, the one copy of Dynamite Knight, it's at 1 for a reason. Will it ever come back? Probably. I expect it to come back. Maybe the next list. I mean, without Masterpiece, like, the deck is not what it once was. Masterpiece was the real problem. Diagram at multiple copies was the problem. Card of Demise at 1 was the multiple problem. Oh, at more than 1 was more the problem, and we don't have that problem anymore, so I think this card could come back. The two Dogmatika monsters in Ecclesia and Fleur de Lis. Nothing to really say here. Nadir gets your stuff out of the grave as well, so you don't need to bog down on Ecclesias and stuff like that. So this is perfect. It's similar to what Shaddol Invoked uses. The triple copies of the Heat, Ignis Heat, triple copies of Maiden. That's it for the monsters. You're still a Card of Demise deck, so of course you play the one Card of Demise. Just a very low monster count. If you were to discard these off of Card of Demise, if it were to come up, remember, again, Nadir's Servant can get them from the grave. So the synergy there, I was just like, oh yeah, that actually works. So it's pretty cool. Of course, the Draco spells, the 3 copies of the Draco Phoenix. You've got the 1 copy of Diagram. I don't see this card coming to more than 1, but this card is still about like a house in this deck, so this card's great. The triple Nadir Servant, this card is amazing. Triple copies of Duality, it's just all about consistency. You don't need to play any other pot card in this deck. I mean, Prosperity, like, you can do it if you play, since he is playing an extra deck, but I don't think it's necessary. You don't really want to lock yourself out of using your True Draco Heritage and stuff, so for that reason, I can understand Duality is all you need. You're never special summoning. Very rarely will, I mean, unless you have Fleur de Lis, and I mean, honestly, that might not even happen in the same turn. 1 copy of Terraforming, of course, to get Diagram. The already mentioned True Draco Heritage. Triple copies of Punishment. Punishment is actually insane in this deck. When we get to the extra deck, you'll see how good it is. Like, this card is just a very powerful interruption card that can just, you know, you have no downside in this deck at all to this card. So this card is fantastic. Triple copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. This is a fantastic trap card, this format. Just good against almost everything. It just works in tandem just against a lot of problematic monsters. Also an Ouch Dragoon, so this card is great. Metaverse, so he is playing the one of Metaverse and the one of Terraforming. This is just to get to your Diagram. Now, whether you draw the Terraforming, whether you draw the Metaverse, whether you draw the, however you get to it, it's in a sense your 3 copies of Diagram that you don't have access to anymore. And if you just dead draw them, I mean, you can pop them with Diagram already, so it works out. So very, very strong. Triple copies of Strike. This is just probably, again, one of the best trap cards in the game currently. If the deck goes second, now True Draco has always been known to be able to go first or second. The deck can go second, and Strike can help you break the board even further, so this card is great. Triple copies of Apocalypse, and now you have 3 copies of Return, so you have all 6 of your traps, just like you did back in the day. That is it for the main deck. It is 40 cards. His side deck, very streamlined. I really like it. It's 3 Cosmic Cyclone and the Harpy's Feather Duster. This is, of course, just generic back removal against anything that really gets in your way. Triple Super Poly, I thought this was hot because he has a lot of great Super Poly targets in the extra deck, especially like going up against Shadalls or going up against Bird Up or going up against honestly anything. He has pretty much everything he could need in his extra deck with Super Poly, so it works out really well. Triple copies of Stormforth. This card is nice because it doesn't target. Literally, the opponent will have to Croc and negate really early in order to, stop this card. Since it doesn't target, the opponent will not know what you're actually trying to tribute on their board. So this can easily bait out a negate, and if they don't negate it, you just get rid of the problem. So this card is amazing. Triple copies of Judgment, obviously going first. You just have to protect your back row and stuff like that, and 2 copies of Waking the Dragon because it's Draco, it's a back row deck, it's a control deck. People are always coming for your back rows, so if they hit this Waking the Dragon, I mean, you got a plethora of targets you can bring out to really just slow down the opponent and punish them for destroying your back row. To his extra deck, of course, there's triple copies of Ventus. You're playing Punishment. You're playing Entis. I mean, nothing to say there. Card's great. He's playing 1 copy of Five-Headed Dragon. Okay, so this is big brain because I have seen this happen. I have seen this happen in some matchups where literally, like, the whole Dragon Link board, you can just wipe it. Some builds literally end on 5 dragons. You can just wipe it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I've seen it happen. It's bonkers. It can't be destroyed by battle with like any monster, so it's like crazy. I don't know how often that'll come up, but if it does, I mean, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh moment right there. Mud Dragon, 2 copies of Starving Venom, 1 copy of Titaniclad, obviously for the Dogmatikas. The Armaduke. Armaduke is awesome. It can break the entire Bird Up board. Omega gives you another good punishment target. Adignister, same thing. If he does decide to go into the extra deck, since he does have the level 5s, he can make Durandal, good negate card, has a other good effect. Can, overlay into Thunder Charger along with the Volcasaurus to do extra burn damage and just win games. And then Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon is his main Waking the Dragon target, as this card is absolutely insane. Makes it really hard to out. A lot of decks have a problem against it, and it's fantastic. So that is the whole main deck side and extra. I'm now just going to go into his rounds. So round 1, he beat Bird Up 2-1. Game 1, he lost due to Bricky Hand and him having answers. Game 2, it was a simple set 3 with Ignis and Diagram turn 1. He follows up with the Link 1, the Lyralist Link 1, swing for damage. It follows up with Zeus, which I attempt to Judgment, and he uses Reboot. Wow, the guy drew the Reboot, where I set the Waking the Dragon, and he Zeus is sending Waking plus Return, so I pop Zeus with the Return, and Zeus and what was it? Special summon Ultimate Falcon and follow up with 1 card in hand to gain control and win. Yeah, if they Zeus you and you literally can pop it, and then you literally summon Falcon, like you win. And then game 3, break the board with Super Poly on the 3 links, so he made the Armaduke, and then made and then Waking the Dragon ended up getting procced, and he ended up winning the game. Round 2, he played against Prank Kids. He beat them 2-1. He won due to standard Draco stuff. Game 2, he lost because Pranks played around and got the advantage with Rooster plus double Butler. That's just standard. He just probably got his board wiped twice. Game 3, side out all self-damage cards, and Demise goes second and opened 4,600 damage with follow-up for next turn, ensuring damage for game and 1 in time. Could have won either way. So he actually beat Prank Kids in time. Prank Kids are notorious for beating players in time, but he just went all in and took out any card that could honestly that could cause any damage to him. So a very, very smart play. Round 3, he played against Pure Phantom Knights. I ended up beating that 2-1. Game 1, play safe because I don't know what is playing against. Dude opens Twin, pops my sets, and full combos me to win. Game 2, play a bunch of interruptions, knowing where to hit the combo piece to win, and use Punishment in Ice Dragon's Prison to control board and simply outgrind for the win. In Game 3, open strong, and he had a bad hand, making a quick game when I broke all his resources fairly quickly. And round 4, he beat Shadal Dogmatika 2-0. Game 1 was super grindy, but managed to out-resource and win. And game 2, I opened Super Poly and Monarch Stormforth with Ignis, allowing me to grind for advantage and break the board, which ensured game by the time in the round was called, and could have won either way according to opponent. And then he wanted just to mention, if people were to ask what are the best cards in the deck, the number 1 card was Dogmatika, Punishment, and Dear Servant. I mean, that's not hard to say. I mean, these cards are just insane. And the next best card was probably the Monarch Stormforth. Again, I said this card doesn't target. This card is great. It will force a negate, and if they don't negate, they're in trouble. And then the 3rd best card for him was Waking the Dragon. But that is everything, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Shout out to you, bro. Really appreciate this. You did did your thing, Joey. Hope to see a lot more from you in the future playing this deck. I know whenever him and I play on stream, he's usually piloting this deck, so I really like to see what he innovates with this. And I think it's really cool that he is still trying to make a deck work that a lot of players gave up on, but you know, that's what I love. I love when players still try to make decks work, even in 2021 with all the crazy formats we have. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's a little something different. I definitely did not expect this, but really excited to profile it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Give the video a thumbs up if you did. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.